Perfect. Thank you. All right. Well, welcome everyone. I'm Mayor Val Vandenbroek, and I'd like to call the May 30th, 2022 regular council meeting to order and begin by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is the traditional unceded territory of the Katzie, Kwantlen, Musqueam, and Semiahmoo First Nations. And for any members of the public who are in attendance to watch these proceedings, welcome. And just a reminder to keep your mics and your cameras turned off while you are in attendance. On the Zoom with me today, I have Councillor Paul Albrecht, Councillor Terry James, Councillor Gail Martin, Councillor Nathan Pahal, Councillor Rudy Storteboom, and Councillor Rosemary Wallace. And for staff, we have Francis Chung, our Chief Administrative Officer, Darren Light, our Director of Corporate Services, Carl Johansson, our Director of Development Services, Rick Baumhoff, our Director of Engineering, Parks and Environment, Kim Hilton, our Director of Recreation, Culture and Community Services, and Kelly Kenny, our Corporate Officer, and our new Fire Chief, Lori Thompson as well. So welcome everyone. All right, first up, adoption of the May 30th, 2022 regular agenda. And are there, before we consider adoption of the agenda, are there any proposed changes or additions to the agenda? Seeing none, that the May 30th, 2022 agenda be adopted as circulated. I need a mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Albrecht, Councillor Storteboom, all those in favor? Any opposed? And that carries. Okay, we are going to go into a committee of the whole, which provides council the opportunity to hear input from the public and allows council a greater opportunity to speak to and debate specific agenda items. So that council commence the committee of the whole. I need a mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Wallace, Councillor Storteboom, all those in favor? And that carries. All right, bylaw 3200, 2021 to 2025 financial plan bylaw amendment. I believe Mr. Light, you'd like to provide an overview.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council. So this overview is, or this bylaw is relating to our 2021-2025 financial plan. And really what it's doing is reflecting the actual results from our 2021 consolidated financial statements. So it's a bit of housekeeping in the sense that all our expenditures are then fully approved through the bylaw amendment. Thank you so very much.
Great, thank you, Mr. Light. I'd like now to invite any members of the public in attendance at this meeting who wish to speak to the 2021 to 2025 financial plan amendment to present their comments. Ms. Kenny, is there anyone here to speak to the bylaw?
No, Madam Mayor.
Okay, seeing no speakers, motion that council rise and report. I need a mover and a seconder, please. Pahal and Storteboom, all those in favor? And that carries. Okay. If there's no objection, we can consider the 4 sets of minutes in one motion, that the minutes of the following meetings be adopted as circulated. May 9th, 2022 regular meeting, B, May 9th, 10th, and 16th, 2022 special pre-close meetings. Need a mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Storteboom. Councillor Albrecht, any corrections, errors, or omissions? Seeing none, all those in favor, and that carries. Okay, business arising from committee of the whole, bylaw 3220, 2021 to 2025 financial plan bylaw amendment. Final reading of a bylaw to amend the 2021 to 2025 financial plan to authorize the expenditures reflected in the 2021 consolidated financial statements. Motion is that the bylaw cited as financial plan 2021 to 2025, bylaw 2021 number 3151, amendment number 2, bylaw 3220 be read a final time. Mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Wallace, Councillor Storteboom, any further discussion on this? Seeing no discussion, call the vote. All those in favor? Any opposed? And that carries. All right, the next upcoming meetings, we have a regular council meeting June 13th, 2022, and the next regular council meeting after that will be June 27th, 2022. And on to recreation update with Kim Hilton, our Director of Recreation, Culture and Community Services.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Can you see my screen here?
Yes, thank you.
Great, thank you. So an update for Recreation, Culture, and Community Services. It is a big update because, of course, we're ramping up with programs and events, lots to celebrate. But first, I just wanted to bring back to Council the success of our local government day, which was held on April the 27th. We had 193 grade 5 students attending. And not all our elementary schools came just because everyone's not quite back into the swing of things yet, but we did have Blacklock, Douglas, Langley, Uconnect, Nickel-Mackle, and Simons. And our poster winner, the poster's attached here, was from Blacklock Elementary. And the winning school just received their luncheon last Friday, so that's very exciting. And we want to give out a special call out and thanks to Mayor Vandenbroek for welcoming the students, our Langley RCMP members for supporting us, Fraser Valley Regional Library. I certainly heard the kids in the library that day, and then all of our participating city departments, including administration and parks, fire, rescue, engineering operations, and of course, recreation, culture, and community services. McDonald's is our sponsor for ICBC coloring contest prize, and all the students from the winning classroom received the free lunch, which I mentioned was last Friday. And then, of course, ICBC and our contact there provided $100 gift, Indigo gift cards to participating teachers, and that's in regards to the coloring contest. So thank you to all of our sponsors. It's great to see the kids back. And then our next event that happened in May is 60 times the annual Langley Walk has taken place, which is just amazing. It was Sunday, May the 1st. We had 525 people attending. Oldest walkers from Langley City, 93 years old. Kudos to Dale. And then most walkers from a school was Brookswood Secondary, from a business, the Langley Seniors Resource Society, and then the Van Meer family, which I think it might be like a repeat winner for many, many years. But anyway, just a heads up that our 61st annual Langley Walk will be next Sunday, May the 7th of 2023. So mark it on your calendars. This week is Go by Bike Week all week long, and it's being supported by Hub Cycling. And you would likely see a booth set up outside here on one of the nicer days this week. So on the north side of City Hall, Timms. You can register for today at bikehub.ca/GBBW to log your kilometers that you cycle, and you could win a cycling adventure tour for 2 in the Netherlands. So this is, the weather is okay. It's not too bad, not too cold, it's not snowing. So if you have the proper rain gear and whatnot, you can certainly cycle. Looks like this fellow has an electric bike, which makes it easier too. But keep track of log your kilometers and sign up to win a trip for 2 to the Netherlands. So this is a free live concert. The Fraser Valley Community Winds will be playing at the Douglas Park Spirit Square from 2 to 4 on June the 5th. So pop on down, bring a lawn chair and listen to them perform. Next week, we get to celebrate everything seniors. Yay! So 55 and older, June 6 to 12, we have an action-packed week of activities. You should sign up for your Seniors Week Activity Pass by phoning 604-514-2940. And one of our lovely staff at the front counter here at Timms will sign you up. And this will give you free activities all week long. You can also check out the activity guide, which is on our langleycity.ca website. So just to give you a snippet, we have a BCRPA Give It a Try. So this is a small grant we received from the BCRPA. And there's 2 different types of things you can try, table tennis and pickleball, 2 of our more popular activities. Again, you do need to register. So if you didn't hear the first time, you can phone 604-514-2940. Then Learn to Bowl. Our lawn bowling club has 2 different days open to our senior population here. Tuesday and Thursday, 1:30 to 3:30, both days. You get to learn how to lawn bowl, and it's a lot of fun. I've tried it. Many of my colleagues have tried it, and we do really quite enjoy it. But again, pre-registration is required. And then we have Healthy Brain Workshop on Tuesday from 10 to 11 here at Timms Community Center. And this is put on by the Alzheimer's Society. It's never too late to make changes to maintain or improve your brain health. So again, to register, 604-514-2940. On Wednesday, the 8th, we have enhanced road assessment workshop put on by ICBC. So you can see Christine Dom, our recreation supervisor, who's responsible for this, has brought in all of our partners, which is great. And again, you can register for this class as well. And then this looks like fun. Bali X Fitness class demo. So that is on Sunday, June the 12th from 12 to 1. And I should mention that all of our regular fitness programs and weight room and stuff are free also for people who have signed up for the Seniors Week. And our outdoor pool is also offering fitness classes. So lots to do. Community Day. We're so excited. It's coming back in person, live, and as big as ever, June the 18th. It is a free event. It's starting at 11 a.m. We have a whole bunch of different community booths will be set up. Our Langley Arts Council will be doing an art walk, which is really exciting. Lots of activities and games. The food truck festival, 20+ food trucks will be joining us again, as well as their marketplace. And they have agreed to do the beer garden this year, which is fantastic. And then we have two special performers. One at 2:30 to 3:30 will jam. That's really more for children. And then from 4 to 6 p.m. we have Crystal DeSantos. So a little bit jazzy, it'll be a lot of fun out at the park. So please join us for this free, friendly family event. Oh, tongue twister. All right. Also, pickleball tournament's back after a couple of years. This is a Douglas Park Community School Pickleball Charity Tournament. And you can see, I think it's sold out, but come down and watch the great fun and activities. We have men's and women's singles, men's and women's doubles, and of course, mixed doubles. That's June 24, 25, and 26 at Douglas Park. We have a free event. One of our local builders is putting on this event at Douglas Park from 12 to 4 to showcase the park on park. The show home suite tours will be happening as well. So that's 12 to 4 on July the 1st in Douglas Park. And also Flippers will have their swim meet again, the first time in person, not virtually, in 2 years. So July 2nd and 3rd at Al Anderson Memorial Pool. So come on down and cheer on our Langley Flippers. And we're happy that our Summer Child Fun Pass is back, and we've expanded it for children 4 to 18. So it gives you free 10 free drop-in activities throughout the summer at all our different locations. But you do need to sign up, and you do need to be a city resident. You can phone 604-514-2940. And back again, it was hugely popular last year, our girls multi-sport camp. And it's run at HT Stafford, and it's running weekly from July 4th through to August the 26th from 9:30 to 2:30. Spaces filled up quickly last year, so if you're interested, please phone 604-514-2940. And that, Madam Mayor, is my update for today.
Wow, thank you very much, Ms. Hilton. So much exciting stuff going on, like that Bali X looks really exciting. Any idea if we're going to have a lawn bowling challenge this year between us and the township? Anywhere?
I haven't heard, but I can certainly reach out and find out for you.
It's always a fun event. Okay, any questions or Councillor Soderbaum, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor, and thank you, Ms. Hilton. I just got to say, it feels so good to know that things are opening up again. Thank you for your wonderful buffet of activities and events. I am thrilled by how things are coming together again. I want to thank you and your team for sustaining us throughout this past 2 years, but it feels like we're back on track and we're good to go. Thank you very much, and thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, thank you very much, Ms. Hilton. Great job.
Thank you.
Okay, on to Councillor Albrecht. I believe you have a presentation from Discover Langley City.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. The report is in your package, but I'll just touch very briefly on a couple items. DLC was successful in obtaining 2 interns for the community ambassador positions, and they're probably already started, and they're supposed to go through to close to the end of August. The MRD year-end reporting has been submitted. It has to be to Destination BC by the end of the month here. And so we'll be looking forward to that approval. National Tourism Week is May 29th to June 4th. I think there'll be a few things going on, so please keep aware of that. And I just wanted to acknowledge the successful Canadian Festival and Chili Barbecue. Despite the weather, it was a successful event, and that is my report. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much for that. Any comments or questions for Mr. Albrecht? Seeing none, okay, thank you very much. Okay, moving on to bylaws. Bylaw 3219, bylaw to amend the sign bylaw with respect to placement and size of political signs. And I believe Ms. Kenny wished to provide an overview of the bylaw.
Yes, Madam Mayor. At the May 9th, 2022 regular council meeting, staff had brought forward amendments to the city's sign bylaw in relation to changing the location of one of the two public property locations where political signs are permitted. At that time, council members had noted issues with political signs with respect to such things as cost, the tendency for these signs to be defaced and or damaged in the two permitted public property locations, and also the negative environmental impact of plastic political signs. So council subsequently passed a motion to have staff report back to council with amendments to the sign bylaw to limit the placement of political signs on private property only. So accordingly, staff are bringing forward proposed amendments to the city's sign bylaw to remove reference to the placement of political signs on public property. And in addition, given the environmental impacts of plastic political signs, amendments are also being proposed to reduce the maximum permitted size of political signs. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Okay, great. So can I get a mover and a seconder to receive the staff report for information? Councillor Wallace, Councillor Stotterboom, and discussion. Councillor Wallace, go ahead. Did you? Oh, sorry. Okay, Councillor Martin.
Thank you. I'm not really sure what the motive was to have this bylaw looked at. You know, environment was one of them. Placing them on pub or private property that would allow more signs than what we have now. I also think that a lot of the people, and I'll talk provincial and federal here, have their signs 4x8. I doubt they're going to be happy. So again, looking at the environment, there's going to be a whole lot of plastic being distributed to our landfills for these signs. Personally, if we had a sign bylaw that said no signs at all, I'd be quite happy. That would certainly solve the problem of the environment. It would solve the problem of any vandalism. And I don't think vandalism is going to stop even on private property. So there's very, very few places in the city right now under our sign bylaw that we can have our signs. The 200th Street, I guess a bit on the Langley bypass. There's a couple of new spots on the Langley bypass. To me, that limits the number of signs. And if that's what the motive behind this is to limit signs, then I don't know why we would have it on private property. The other concern I have is what time is it going to take for the bylaw officers if they receive complaints? And I would imagine that they only act on complaints. They're not going to be touring the city to see if signs are against the bylaws. So I am concerned about the time it's going to take for bylaw and the other concerns I have. I will not be supporting this. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Bahal, go ahead.
Yeah, just maybe clarity to staff through the mayor. We've always allowed election signs on private property. Is that correct?
No.
Yes,
Yeah.
Councillor Paul.
That's what I understood. So the only change, and I know we're talking about the report. So for my clarity, the only change we're making is we're not going to permit signs to be placed at 200th Street underneath the power lines and basically at the Gateway of Hope. So that's, as far as placement, that's the change. Is that correct? And again, through the mayor to staff.
Yes, through the mayor. Yes, that's correct, Councilor Paul.
Great. And then the other thing I think is we're changing the signs from 4x8 to 4x4 as the maximum size. And that would be the only other change, correct?
That is correct.
Great. Yeah. So for me, I think those signs, I'm supportive, and I know we're talking about the report, not the bylaw right now, but I'm definitely supportive of staff's rationale based on the discussion we had at the last meeting. I put signs, I mean, I actually didn't put signs near the Gateway of Hope because they just get vandalized the moment they were up, and they'd end up in the creek there. And then as far as 200th Street, there's just, all there is a bunch of signs. They always get vandalized. On the private property, I know I've had more success with signs staying in place there. 4x4 is still a very large sign. And that's kind of the typical ones you would see. So I think you're still going to be allowing people to express their democratic right to support a candidate, but not with such a massive sign. So hopefully reducing that waste a little bit and saving on the construction cost as well to support it. So that's my views, but I'll talk about it more during the actual bylaw. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Wallace.
Thank you, through the mayor. Just trying to see the size of a 4x4 sign. I mean, I would just like to, I don't know if you can make an amendment or an investigation. I don't know at this point, but I would just rather go just to the smaller lawn signs altogether and no larger signs, because I think it makes it fair for everybody, and it eliminates on the plastic. I too, like Councillor Martin, would like to see a bylaw to have no signs. But yeah, those are my concerns.
Thank you, Councillor Sturdivant.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor, and thank you for the discussion, everyone. I especially want to thank staff for the report. I think that the one thing that might not be included in the report is the fact that we're moving into a modern era that bombards us with all kinds of social media and electronic attention for signage and things like that. So quite honestly, if individual candidates would prefer not to have signs even on public property, that's fine. It's a democratic right for people to have signs on their property, I think, in my opinion. But yeah, I'll be supporting the resolution when it comes forward, in large part because the destruction of election signs is a statement, and it's not very encouraging because it happens every time. So thank you very much to the staff for bringing this forward. I will be supporting the resolution. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Okay, anyone else? Any other comments? I will just say I won't be supporting this as well. I think everybody has a right, and I think this will discourage newcomers from being able to showcase themselves, because right now signs are the only way to showcase yourselves. Until something new comes up, I think we're impeding new candidates from coming forward, as well as most political signs are nowadays made with recycled materials, not plastic. And I don't see any changes to that regard here. So if we're so concerned about the environment, then why aren't we actually making a sign so that all signs have to be biodegradable or recyclable? To me, that would be, if we're concerned about the environment, that's what we would be doing here. And I don't see that. And many people have signs that they've been using for many years and have been reusing them. So now those are going to go into the bin. So the whole argument of using this as an environmental issue honestly doesn't fly with me. So I will not be supporting this. So I will call the vote. All those in favor and opposed?
Madam Mayor, sorry.
Yeah.
This is just receive the report, Madam Mayor.
Oh
Right.
yeah, sorry. Okay, I'll receive the report. We'll go with that. So all those in favor of receiving the report. Okay. And the motion is that the bylaw cited as City of Langley signed bylaw 1996, number 2125, amendment number 7, 2022, number 3219 be read a first, second, and third time. I need a mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Sturdivant, Councillor Bahal, Councillor Sturdivant, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. For me, I got to say this isn't as much about environmental concerns. It impresses me as something that would be entering into a modern era. And I believe that when we see those signs being destroyed after hours in the middle of the night, having to go by first thing in the morning and raise them up again, it's a statement against democracy. And that's what we're looking at here. It's not about the environment as much as it is about democracy. Likewise, the size of the sign, I'm really okay with it, but a smaller sign would probably be better. And it would actually be more affordable for new candidates not to have to buy signs. So I'm going to support the resolution and thank you all for your consideration. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Okay, Councillor Paul, you're next.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And just saying that I am supportive of this proposed amendment to the sign bylaw. I think by having the smaller sign, it actually lowers the cost for new candidates, which is great. The large ones are a pain to mount. I know that. And you start getting an arms race on who can have the biggest sign. The signs on 200th and again by the Gateway of Hope always get vandalized. Again, their pieces end up in the floodplain, in the trails, in the river. And I don't think it does anybody any service except make people feel really uncomfortable and generates a newspaper article about election signs being vandalized. I fully support people putting election signs on their private property. That is their right. And I think as candidates, I know again for me that was the best. And I think there's for new candidates as well, the smaller signs, more affordable, allows them to find their supporters and place it on their properties. And honestly, some of the candidates can talk to people at some premier intersections, and most of the folks there are pretty supportive of putting signs on their fences. So I'm pretty supportive of this. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Yep, Councillor Martin, go ahead.
Thank you. I just wanted to clarify with Ms. Kinney in the what she's saying is replaced. She's got 4x4 and attached to the ground. So, I mean, I know what that means. It's going to be on lumber or whatever. But what about if it's attached to a fence or something like that? Like, it sounds like 4x4. If you're going to have 4x4, you have to attach to the ground.
No, sorry, through the chair to Councillor Martin. So what that's saying is that when they're on the ground, they cannot be higher than 9.84 meters above ground to the tops of the height of the sign. Oh, I'm sorry, you're on mute there, Madam Councillor Martin.
I'm sorry, I know what it says. I just find it just a little bit confusing with attached to the ground, but that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments from council? Again, I will say, I think this bylaw impedes new people from running and diversity in our community. And I'll be voting against it. So call the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? Councillor Martin and me opposed. Okay, carries. On to bylaw 3211, election and assent voting procedure bylaw amendment. Final reading of a bylaw to amend the election and assent voting procedure bylaw with respect to minimum number of required nominators for candidates, mail ballot voting, and special voting opportunities. The motion is that the bylaw cited as election and assent voting procedure bylaw 2014, number 2942, amendment number 2, 2022, number 3211 be read a final time. I need a mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Sturdivant, Councillor Wallace, any discussion? And just if I can get staff clarification on this, I believe this is just making the number from 2 to 10. Is that correct, Ms. Kenny?
Yes, Madam Mayor, that's correct. And to add mail ballot voting ability, and also to change one of the special voting opportunities to an advanced voting opportunity.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that clarification. Okay, I will call the vote. All those in favor, Any opposed? And that carries. Okay, on to committee reports. Arts, Recreation, Culture and Heritage Committee 2022 Work Plan. Councillor Albrecht, as chairs of this committee, do you wish to make any introductory remarks before we consider the motion?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And yeah, if I could just very briefly, we've got a really vibrant committee, but we are suffering from having not enough diversity, and we're trying to expand that and get a greater reach into our artistic community in all regards. So this will help provide that, as well as give us a better network of connection and diversity in our community. Oh, and this work plan will help us achieve those goals that we want to get done in our community. So do you want me to read the recommendation?
Yep, please go ahead.
Okay, that council approved the Arts, Recreation, Culture and Heritage, or Art Committee work plan for 2022.
Great, thank you. And I need a seconder, please. Councillor Wallace. Okay, any further discussion? I think the more the merrier. That's my thought on it. Councillor Bahal, go ahead.
Thank you. And again, through the mayor, fully supportive of this. And I was really excited to see the work plan, including around the Langley Heritage Railway markers. I know that'll be a real hit because that's something, you know, grassroots from the community. So really excited that heritage is now part of this committee. Thank you, both of the chairs.
Yeah, I agree. We've been talking about this for a long time, so it's nice to see it get included. Thank you. Okay, any further discussion? Call the vote. All those in favor? Any opposed? That carries. All right, on to motions and notices of motions. We have one up, return to in-person council meetings and public hearings. Motion from Councillor Martin. Did you wish to make any introductory remarks before we consider the motions, Councillor Martin?
No, I think it's self-explanatory. Thank you.
Okay, I'll read the motion. That the following motions be passed at the September 28th, 2020 regular council meeting be rescinded. Hold regular council meetings electronically at 3 p.m. until such time as the city has implemented technology to permit combined in-person electronic participation by council members and members of the public. Continue to hold public hearings electronically at 7 p.m. until such time as the city has implemented technology to permit combined in-person electronic participation by council members and members of the public. Need a mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Martin. Seconder, Councillor Albrecht. Okay, discussion. Who'd like to speak first? Councillor Bahal, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and through the mayor. I just wanted to state that while I do appreciate this motion, I won't be supporting it at this time. I look forward to revisiting this maybe in the future, in the fall, but for various reasons, I think we're most effective meeting virtually at this time. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Great, thank you. Any other comments? Councillor Albrecht.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. And I would love to be able to come back and meet in person. I think it's much more effective, and feel like you are participating a little bit more organically as conversations arise at the council table, and reading body language and tone. I find the Zoom meetings are good. They have a place, but at the same time, they're not quite the same. I do, however, respect other members of council and public for not wanting to attend in person. It would be nice to have the hybrid meetings. I think a lot of other jurisdictions are participating in in-person meetings, but I also believe that they've got a hybrid system. So while I personally, I want to attend in person and continue on that way, I'll go with the majority of council, and at the same time, I want to respect everybody's situations, issues, and be sensitive to everybody's needs. So I'd love to hear what other people have to say. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Councillor Wallace, go ahead.
Thank you, and I do appreciate the motion, and I do like meeting in person, but as things are unfolding and for various reasons, I don't think it would be good to meet in person, and I would prefer to hold off until the fall. As much as I agree with you, Councillor Albrecht, as meeting in person and being able to engage is a lot better, but at this time, I don't think that would be effective. So I will be voting against this motion.
Councillor Martin.
Well, thank you very much. Given that I've put this motion forward to rescind, I will certainly comment. I'd be curious to know what the reasons are that I guess Councillor Wallace does not want to meet. I think I know what the reasons are, that some of the people don't want to meet, and I'm not going to state them publicly. I think they're poor excuses. I know that Ms. Kenny did a survey in February, and at that time, 18 councils were meeting in person, 8 were by hybrid, and 7 were not meeting at all. But a further question was, are they looking to return to in-person meetings? Of the 7, 4 of them had planned to return, and this would be in March 2022. 2 of them are considering to return to meetings, and 1 has no plans, and they said they're likely until the mask mandate has been removed. Well, the mask mandate has been removed for quite some time. Members of this council go to walks, they go to public events, they attend galas and everything like that where there's no masks. So I don't know the reason that we wouldn't be meeting in person. Return in the fall, you don't even know if you're going to be here in the fall. So we have maybe 5, 6, 7 meetings left until October the 15th. And I think it's our duty to meet in person, as Zoom does not work. If we didn't have COVID, Zoom would never have happened and we'd all be meeting in person. So I hope that most of council sees their way. And, you know, I respect people's wishes too, as Councillor Albrecht pointed out. The motion to not continue, or to continue with Zoom past 4-3, which was nowhere near a majority. So hopefully we're not looking for a majority here. And I don't think we should, it's not probably in the community charter that you have to have a majority. So anyway, that's my comments on this. And I'll reiterate again, the reasons for not wanting to meet in person, in my opinion, are very poor excuses. Thank you.
Councillor Wallace.
I appreciate you bringing the motion forward, Councillor Martin, but for personal reasons, I feel that it's not, I don't have to make that a point to the public. I do my work effectively. I contribute to this community in the best ways that I can, as you all do. And yes, I do attend things where they are in large groups. Right now, as a council, I do not think it is healthy to meet in person.
Councillor Albrecht.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And it's something I forgot to ask. Maybe council or staff could provide some clarification on, if we were to meet in person, if the barriers between us would be gone. We've got those plexiglass barriers, and I find it just as difficult to communicate with those in place. So at the same time, I don't want to be providing a possible restriction for other members of council to participate openly and freely if we are forced into a in-person meeting. So again, just a couple of comments. Thank you.
Ms. Kenny, did you want to?
Yes, Madam Mayor, through the chair.
Oh, thank you.
Albrecht, we would not have the dividers in place. They would be down.
And just on staff clarification on, while you're there as well, Ms. Kenny, where is staff at doing the hybrid? That was the whole point of waiting to come back into chambers until staff had a hybrid version complete. And from my understanding, that isn't complete yet.
Through the chair, yes, that is not complete yet. We're still in the process of researching and looking at requirements. We hope to have those in place in the next little while to work towards getting that hybrid capability. But at this point, we don't have it. So it'd either be all in person or all electronic. So we couldn't have people attending electronically at an in-person meeting.
Great, thank you for that. Councillor Storterboom, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor, and thank you to everyone for your consideration of this resolution. I quite honestly prefer meeting in person. I like connecting with people. I'm a very social person. I like going to places where I feel welcome and where I get along with everybody. But quite honestly, the networking that I would appreciate might be lost because I see confrontation ahead, and I'm really not looking forward to that. I would prefer to be respectful, and online is fine with me. I will support those who choose not to meet in person because I think that they have a special right to be considered. I respect the fact that the general public might prefer the process of being able to attend our meetings. Quite honestly, I think it's probably available for more to attend electronically than in person. And I don't mind the convenience of Zoom as well. I finally figured it out, and I think that it'll work well moving into the future. So I will not be voting for this resolution, but thank you very much, everyone, for your consideration. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councillor James.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I feel it necessary to weigh in on this one because obviously we're all over the board. So as much as I want to meet in person because I think it's a little bit more effective, I also have to consider how the rest of my council colleagues are feeling about this. Because if even one person is uncomfortable with the idea of meeting in person, then that sets the tone already for in-person meetings. So yeah, as much as I miss seeing the majority of you in person at council meetings, I really, I'm just going to have to, like Councillor Albrecht said, just wait and see where we land on this one, because I'm honestly good either way. But I certainly wouldn't want anyone being uncomfortable with the idea of meeting in person. So thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you. Yeah, that's kind of my feeling as well. If one person doesn't want to return, I respect that. We're in trying times right now, and COVID is still active, and we have not had the system set up yet, which we were supposed to have with the staff for a hybrid version. So I will be voting against this, but that's my prerogative. So, all right, any further discussion or? Okay, seeing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor of returning to in-person and
I
opposed?
don't think that's what we're voting on, Madam Mayor. We're voting on to rescind.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, to return in person. So to rescind the. So
Well, the next motion would be to return in person. If this motion to rescind does not pass, then the next motion is null and void.
yes, and that's what we're voting on. The following motions passed at the September 28, 2020 regular.
That's right. That's what we're voting on.
Yes. So all those in favor of rescinding? And opposed? Opposed to rescinding? So how many do I have? Who's opposed to coming back? Okay, Nathan, you're opposed. Councillor James, you're opposed. Albrecht's opposed. Wallace is opposed. Storterboom's opposed, and Vandenbroek is opposed. Okay, so the motion fails. Thanks, everyone. Okay, we are going to go on to correspondence. June 2022 is Deafblind Awareness Month. Canadian Deafblind Association from BC chapter sent us some correspondence on that. Received for information. Need a mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Wallace, Councillor Storterboom, all those in favor, that carries. All right, so motion to hold a closed meeting, that the council meeting immediately following this meeting be closed to the public as the subject matter being considered relates to items which comply with the following closed meeting criteria specified in section 90 of the community charter. 1A, personal information about an identifiable individual who holds or is being considered for a position as an officer, employee or agent of the municipality, or another position appointed by the municipality. 1C, labor relations or other employee relations. 1E, the acquisition, disposition, or expropriation of land or improvements, if the council considers that disclosure could reasonably be expected to harm the interest of the municipality. 1K, negotiations and related discussions respecting the proposed provision of a municipal service that are at their preliminary stages and that, in the view of the council, could reasonably be expected to harm the interest of the municipality if they were held in public. 1L, discussions with municipal officers and employees respecting municipal objectives, measures, and progress reports for the purposes of preparing an annual report under Section 98 Annual Municipal Report. And 2B, the consideration of information received and held in confidence relating to negotiations between the municipality and a provincial government or the federal government or both, or between a provincial government or the federal government or both and a third party. I need a mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Pahal, Councillor Sturdivant, any discussion? All those in favor? And that carries. And a motion that the meeting adjourn. Need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Sturdivant, Councillor Albrecht, all those in favor of adjourning the meeting, and meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. And Kelly, we can turn the recording off, please.